What is up, guys? Fadeaway82 coming at you with a weekly Rust update video. This week's Rust update is going to be a bit on the small side, but it is a quality of life update. Starting with the user interface, the right mouse button now intuitively knows whether you want to equip or unequip articles of clothing or pieces of armor. This is awesome because it's really snappy and really refined over the more primitive dragging and dropping of pieces of armor and clothing. Because you do this so much in Rust, it's really going to enhance your play experience. Speaking of pieces of armor, headgear now has health associated with it, and that will soon be the case for all pieces of armor and possibly clothing as well. What this means is as those items lose their condition or their health, they will then lose their protection value, which is directly associated with the condition of the item. To repair the items, you will use a repair bench. Each item has its own cost associated with it, with some requiring high quality metal. Again, it only applies to headgear in this iteration, but next week it will probably apply to other pieces of armor as well. Speaking of getting resources to repair armor, you can now melt down or smelt down your bean cans and tunic cans. When smelting down the cans, the bean can will yield 15 metal fragments and the tunic can will yield 10 metal fragments. To obtain the cans to smelt, you simply need to eat the full can. You will then have an empty can that you can go ahead and throw in the campfire, and it's really cool to be able to do that on the fly, and it really fits in with that survival theme and aesthetic of Rust. There's a new view model for crude oil that we're taking a look at here, and the crafting time for the barricades has been reduced across the board. So that might be an option that you find yourself using more now with the reduced crafting time. We saw a look in the dev blog at some concepts for different arrowheads or arrow tips that could be added into the game that would have different properties, different levels of technology, if you will, and potentially fire arrows, poison arrows, all sorts of stuff like that. Very cool, and hope to see that developed upon further. We took a look at the next evolution of the female character model, as well as some updated player meshes here that are more seamless, so you should no longer see breaks in parts of the characters' bodies. The next version of Rust's procedurally generated terrain, which will come in the early part of next month, will have denser clusters of bushes and trees perhaps, and the rivers will look updated as well. So this is something that is going to add to the atmosphere of Rust, and as the maps become more dense, that's really going to be something that adds to the intensity of Rust, and can't wait to see that fleshed out more fully. Gary and Helk have been working hard on the experience system, and it's said to be tuned to about level 8 right now, which takes about 4 hours of gameplay. They're gathering a lot of data on that, so if you want to hop onto that, go over to the pre-release branch and you can start testing it out. As always, guys, really hope you enjoyed this week's Rust update. Looks like that experience system is going to be about a month out. As always, Fadeaway82, peace.